So over the weekend, I solved this really major problem that I had. I have this really cool grill and I really enjoy using it. The problem is that where the tank is set and how it's like right up against the house, you kind of don't really know what may have like crawled up in there or whatever. So I'm always a little bit leery reaching back in there to stick my hand to turn the gas on. Last year, I think I had reached in there. I kind of do this where I go around the grill, kind of look at everything, make sure that there's nothing there. So I'd done that. But then I reached my hand in there to turn on the grill, and apparently some wasps had set up a nest, and I got stung 3 or 4 times by at least, I don't know, 2 or 3 different wasps. And ever since then, I feel like that's kind of the danger zone, you might say. So it really has kind of soured my desire to grill, and I hate that because I really enjoy grilling. So over the weekend, I did some things to help with that. I went and bought an extension hose so that I could move the grill out from that area and move it into a place where I can actually see it and no longer have to worry about potentially getting stung by something. I mean, living in Texas, you just really never know what may have crawled up in there or is hanging out in there. I mean, we have everything from not cool spiders to scorpions and snakes. Who knows what might decide to crawl in there. You know, the other day I was taking trash out to the trash can and I opened the lid and out popped a raccoon. So you just really don't know what you're going to run into sometimes. Anyways, so I made an effort to solve that, and I think that solution works out super well. There's a couple more things that I want to do though. The extension hose that I got, I really don't want it laying on the ground, so I'm thinking I want to build a couple little quick clamps essentially, or holders that I can clamp that extension hose to the wall and then not have to worry about it. And that way, if I need to change that hose out at any time in the future, it'll be really easy to do and it'll keep it off the ground, which I think is definitely going to extend the life of the hose. All right, I have this extension hose for my grill. And what I want to do is build some mounts for it to mount on the wall to keep the hose off the ground. Kind of what I'm thinking is there would be this plastic mount. Something like this. Pretty thick plastic that would have a channel and maybe a little kind of lip on it so that this will lock into place. And then there will be basically a hole that's recessed a little bit to allow me to screw this into the back of the wall. and then that hose will just fit into the channel lock-in. Again, the purpose is to get this off the ground and also to be set up so that if I ever need to change this out, it's really easy to do. If you look at the way I have stuff set up right now, if you look at the grill kind of in a forward looking view, this is the little section here that has the tank, or where the tank was at, and there's a hose that comes out. I can draw a better hose. Anyways, that hose comes out, and I've got it pulled out now. How do I draw this? So, say this is the front of the grill. I have that hose coming out along the side, and then I have little straps that are holding it up, and then here's the connector piece. So what I'll do is connect this up with these little blocks, probably a couple of them, and then the tank would sit approximately right here. Well, those are total bad scribbles, but anyways, so the hose would then come through, maybe do kind of a loop around, and then connect up to the tank, and that'll keep this hose off the ground, and it'll make it really easy to change out if I ever need to change this out. There's some kind of back and forth on the reviews for this extension hose as far as how long it'll last, the quality, and all that kind of stuff. And I think getting it off the ground will definitely help its longevity. The other thing is, by making it something that's easy to change out, if it ever goes bad, it's not a big deal to change it out. And the extension hose really isn't all that expensive. So if it lasts 1 or 2 seasons, that's excellent. And yeah, for me, it was slim pickings and trying to find something that would actually work for what I wanted. And this is kind of what I ended up with. For this design, I just really wanted to keep it simple. About the only thing that was really important to me for this was to make sure there was a little catch so that the hose would stay in position. That was it. All right, the prints are done. I printed these at 75% infill so that they would be a little bit stronger. So there's a little bit of cleanup that I need to do here, but the real question is how do they fit around the hose? Clear this off real quick and we'll see. All right, so this is going to go on like this, and I'll just clip right on like that, and then this is set up so the screw will basically surface mount, so I can just mount this on the wall and just pop that off as I need to. I think that's going to work out really well for getting this set up so that it's not on the ground. That's pretty cool. With the mounts all printed and cleaned up, the only thing that I had left to do was reinstall this extension hose and then attach the mounts to the wall and then fit the hose into the mounts. That was it. I mean, this was a really straightforward, simple build, and it really brought back the joy of being able to grill again and not have to worry about getting stung by something. I am really stoked with how this turned out.